Welcome back to Studioloo. It's Cindy. This is episode 7 of our flea market style Traveler's Notebook make-along. So today we are making the 5th spread in the journal. So let me just get it out here. So this is going to be an envelope, multi-pocket, loaded thing. This is going to be the bulk of our work today. Lots of little bits of ephemera and a pocket at the back. The piece of paper to begin with that we're using is just try to get some kind of, if you have like a large book page, a foreign language page, a dictionary page. I ended up using a Hebrew page from a Hebrew dictionary, and it has been coffee dyed. So that's what I would recommend using, is just something that has a lot of writing on it. It's a nice kind of background type page. So first of all, size it to your journal. So mine is about 5 inches, so I go a little under 5, so it fits in. So let me show you this piece by piece with the new one that we're going to make. So here's the journal that we're working on together. And here are the pieces that I've chosen for what we're doing here, and I'll go through this with you now. So as I mentioned, what this is, you need an envelope. Some kind of like a card envelope would work beautifully. It doesn't have to be pink. It can be any color or it can be a regular envelope. You can tea dye it. You can just ink it up, stamp on it, whatever you like. But what we're going to be doing is creating 1, 2, 3 pockets on the envelope and then gluing it down in an L shape to create a tuck spot behind it. So that's that part. Then it's going to get stuffed with all sorts of little bits of ephemera, and I'm going to show you how to have fun and make some cute ephemera to go in this. It's just this kind of these are like little mini journal cards that I made from a Richard Scarry book page, out of a children's French Richard Scarry book. Because I live in Canada, we have, lots of French available to us. So these are like little journal cards. And then they just kind of tuck here and there in these little pockets. Then this is just a little like vintage image tag, another one of those Richard Scarry little journal cards that I made, and I added a little vintage technical drawing and a little tag from like a scrapbook kit. And then this is another little cute owl from Richard Scarry. And then a little tea-dyed tag and a little pink tag. Sorry, this is a ticket, not a tag. And then what's in behind here, this is one of my cutoffs from scrapbook paper. I'm sure we all have about 1 million of these. And then I've just done a stamp on some coffee dyed paper, and I just glued that on the front, then rounded the bottom corners to make a nice piece of writing space. So let's turn the page and see what's next. So on this page, you can use whatever you like really for this. What I used, I just wanted something to glue down that was transparent so I could still see this beautiful Hebrew. And this is my cabbage dyed parchment paper. I wanted something crinkly. I left it long and jaggedy just to be like a fun flip out so you could, write a little bit here. So I have some of it here for this journal. I'm going to do the same thing. For this, you can use parchment paper, you can use wax paper, tracing paper, onion skin, any thin translucent type paper or crinkly paper that you like. Just something fun to add some crinkle. And transparent is nice because then you can still see what's behind it. Then on this page, so we're going to make a little tuck spot here with a playing card, or in this case I used a tarot card. Then we're going to make a piece of ephemera that is a journal card, but I made this out of an index card, a plain index card. You could do this with anything really. You could make a file folder you could do this with, just cut it into this shape. You could even just use cardstock, and if you have a tab punch, or you could even cut a tab. So what I did with this is I wanted to show you something fun that a lot of people probably don't realize are a great tool to use in junk journaling: bingo daubers. You can make fun dots, and the other thing that you can do, and I used to do this a lot, you know how we're all inking the edges of our paper? You can actually do that with bingo dauber quite nicely too, if you know, you want some kind of like colorful and even thicker type ink, or even just to do like a fine line on the edge. It's really good for that. So don't cancel out these everyday tools that you can find in places. So what I did with this, I just bingo daubed it. Then I wanted to put some kind of an art image on it, because it's that whole eclectic flea market, right? And then I wanted to use a vintage piece of like writing, or a poem actually. So I took a verse out of a book, an old book. This one, Gerard Manley Hopkins. This is really old. I can't remember the year. 1876 to 1889 are the poems in here. So he wasn't the most positive writer, but there were some verses that were okay. And then I just did a little washi tape collage up here, and I did some inking. So the verse says, where whatever's prized and passes of us, everything that's fresh and fast flying of us, seems to us sweet of us, and swiftly away with, done away with, undone. Undone, done with, soon done with, and yet dearly and dangerously sweet of us, the wimpled, water-dimpled, not by morning matched face, the flower of beauty, fleece of beauty, too apt to fleet, never fleets more, fastened with the tenderest truth. So there's a certain something to such old poetry. Yeah. And then on the back, I used a rusty paper clip, and we're going to make a fabric covered tag. So let's get started on this. I have selected a bunch of things for this page. Let's just put that back on, and we'll set it over to the side here. Okay, so the bulk of our work today will be this, okay? So it's a regular envelope. We're going to need washi tape for this project. So the reason we need washi tape is just about creating a good secure kind of space to cut into. So what I'm going to use will be two different washi tapes. I'll use this one and this one this time because I used the others already. So I'll do something, actually I already used this one too. Let's go with this green maybe. We'll mix it up a bit. All right, so I'm going to use a thin washi tape and a thick washi tape. It doesn't really matter. So just get it a little longer than the envelope, and this will represent your first pocket. So leave a little bit of space, like maybe an inch. And this one's great because I've got these dots here I can use to line it up to make sure it's straight. So then tear it on either side and flip it over onto the back. You're not going to see the back of this envelope, so just keep that in mind. And then I'm going to do that one there, and I'm going to use the same washi tape again for the bottom pocket. So leave again about not quite an inch on this one maybe, or yeah, about an inch. And just do the same thing again, lay it down. And then the middle one we'll do in a different washi for a bit of variety. This is like a vintage writing washi. I always find it so hard to peel these. Now, the other thing I'd recommend is if you have washi tape that is like your standard washi tape, like this one I'm not worried about, but this one I am. Most washi tape, it's not designed to stay glued. This one actually is. I bought these specifically for being like, I forget what they called them, like permanent glue. But most washi tape is designed to be able to be lifted up. It's not a permanent thing. So with this big washi tape, I'm going to apply glue stick glue to it. I mean, the chances of washi tape lifting, probably if it's newer, are low, but it's probably just best to make this more permanent that you do glue it. Okay, so then let's center this one. Okay, and on back again. Whoop. Okay, now, so the next stage, you're going to require something. I'm using this, I have this little metal plate. This was a fabricated plate that my dad was working on a piece for my spinning wheel, and he just had this leftover piece of metal. You could use a piece of glass for this. You could also use a piece of wood, or just something you don't mind cutting into that will fit inside your envelope. Don't stress too much about this. You could also use a bunch of book pages that you don't mind cutting. The objective here is we don't want to cut our envelope. You could also open your envelope, like tear it open if you wanted to, but you don't have to. Then you just pop it in here. Okay, so we're going to just pop our piece of metal here into the top and just line it up so it's now laying across here. Why do I need this? Because we're going to cut a slit here. The whole purpose of this washi tape is to just create neat and strong edges on our pockets so that when we put things in, you're not going to only have paper protecting the edge of the pocket. So I'd recommend you go about, you know, a 1/4 inch or so in on either side. And we're just cutting a slit in the center. I'm leaving about 2 dots. So see, here we go. Then I will move my metal plate down a little bit into the middle so that it lines up with the large piece of washi tape. Okay. Same thing, 2 dots on either side, so that's about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch. Then down one more. Okay. Now, what we're going to do next is turn this up, and we're going to take a look at what we need to glue down here. So, I'm trying to remember, how did I do this? This one first. Yeah, I do need to glue the flap first. Sorry, I just couldn't remember. So now we're going to glue the flap closed. So just keep the glue right where the natural glue of the envelope is. Don't go in here with it, just on the edge where the natural glue would be. We want all the glue to end up on this back of the envelope, not on the inside. Okay, so just close that up. Now we want to close in the pockets that we've created. You could use them as slots if you wanted to as well. I'll show you what I mean here. So see, today if you stick this in, it will fall through. It could even be a slot if you wanted to use it as a slot, but I want it to be closed in pockets. So the bottom is already done for me. So now I just need to lift up this center one, and see in here I'm going to run glue right above the bottom pocket, just one thin line of art glitter glue to seal this one down. So I guess I could take my pin out of my glue, that might help. Then just run our little bead of glue, try to keep it as thin as you can, then press that down and just pull up your bottom pocket and run your finger under there and just press down, clean up any glue with your finger. So now that pocket is sealed. Now we need to do the same thing to the pocket above. So again, a nice thin line of glue. Press, 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 and then lift. Okay. And that pocket is sealed. Now, yeah, that feels good. Okay, so we've got our pockets sealed down. Okay. So now let's work on stuffing these with stuff. So what did I do first? I created my little journal cards out of these Richard Scarry images, and I did 4 of them. So let's do the same for this one. So here's my images, and I'm going to, I specifically chose this one. This is where they kind of define like what things are. Like this is a Dr. Lion and that kind of thing. So I'm going to choose my little friends here. I absolutely love this hen with all these little babies standing on her. It's so cute. So I'm just going to fussy cut around them, leaving a bit of white space and giving it a freeform image shape. Then I'm going to grab this silly baboon. Same thing, just cut around them. Okay. And maybe this little cat with the fish. And these kind of books are so great if you can find them. They're like, you know, the kind of book for like children to learn the names of things. So you get all these little items. They're great for this kind of thing. And these little journal cards are nice because, you know, you could write like just a little sentiment or a little note or something like that. It's very fun. Okay, so now we'll grab all of those that we just clipped out. And I just want to back them on some like maybe cardstock weight or, you know, a decent paper weight. Actually, I have packaging paper. That might be nice. Let's use packaging paper for this one. So let's just, I'm going to use a double this packaging paper size or width rather. So 2 sheets together just to give it a little bit more strength. Fold that in half. Packaging paper is really good to glue. It stays nice and glued together well and flat. So then I will use art glitter glue and I will just glue all of those on there. Leaving a little bit of space because I want to have a little excess space around each of them. So I can use it as a border. These are the books I find the hardest not to hoard when I'm in stores. Whenever I find vintage Richard Scarry, I'm always like, oh, I don't need it. I already have so many of them. Leave it alone. I did a whole series of Richard Scarry journals. They were actually, I think, maybe the second series of journals that I ever made, and I really love them. And I think they're all gone now. Maybe I have one more, but I don't think so. Okay, now let's just cut them apart. So then just cut around them, leave a little border. And I just give them kind of a press after I glue. It's just something that I do. Flatten everything down. Okay. All right. So now we're going to just arrange these however they would look the cutest. So I'll put my little donkey and a tractor here. Just go and lift this up again. Now if you have any sticking, just kind of go slow and just lift it back up again. That does happen sometimes. The art glitter glue is so sticky. There we go. Okay. So we'll pop our donkey here. And then our chickie mama, our rooster, or our hen rather, over here. And then our little cat with this fish over here. And maybe our baboon, maybe up here as well. There we go. So now those are all in. Then I'll go ahead and I'll use another one of these tags like I used in the other one. Maybe at the bottom over here like that. Then the rest of it you just kind of fill with random little things that you have that you like. So you can make more different kinds of journal cards. You know, you can take little magazine images like this. I'm going to put maybe a technical drawing in here, a little technical drawing. Maybe one of these little yellow labels. And like these are great in journals for people to, they could write on them, or they could, you know, embellish with them. Stick them down in different places. So here's a cute little octagonal label. Pop that in there. A little butterfly stamp. You can load these up as much as you like. Little pine cone. Pop that in here. Maybe. Actually, it's a little short. It would still work. I'm just being picky because, you know, that's what I do. You know, I have like an absolute metric ton of these. But here's something cool. These are the little symbols for sign language. Put that back here maybe. And then move our hen. And then maybe one of these. I'm just stuffing this one. Okay, that's enough. So what I was saying before, if your envelope is plain, on these surfaces, you can stamp things if you want, or you could paint the envelopes. I have a whole bunch of really ugly, bright orange envelopes, and I'm probably going to use these for the other journals that I'm making, because I'm actually making probably a dozen of these journals, and I'm going to be painting those envelopes because they're just so ugly. So now we need our main piece of paper, the main element to this. So what I want to do now is, you'll see what I did here. I glued it like an L, but I left it a little overhung. So do that and make sure wherever you're going to put it, I'm guessing I've got about this much space for it to go in the journal and not hang out the edge. So the best thing for you to do is actually go inside your journal to the space where we're going to be putting this one, which is, are we out of, yeah, we're in the right spot. Okay, so we'd be going in here. So I'm into the center of where it's going to be. Then pop it down where you think it can go. And then take a look at how wide. Okay, so that's okay, I think. I just have to do this. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's in there. Okay. What I'm noticing is I think I forgot to trim this one a little bit. I might need to go back to that one. Three, two. Okay, so sorry, I had to take a little sneeze break. Okay, so back to this. So we do have enough room to go ahead and glue this down. So let's do our L-shaped gluing here. One side and the bottom. Okay. And you can choose the placement wherever you like. I'm going to choose right here. And just get your glue down. And see, you could even take like a little label like this if you wanted, and you could put it right there. That'd be very cute. I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to take the label out of there and put it right there because I just like how that looks. These journals are flexible. You can do whatever you like, you know, as you go through the process of making them. Change it up as you like. Maybe you don't have the same kind of, you know, papers and you need to do other things, and that's totally fine. All right, so now we have a pocket back here we need to fill. So again, I have another one of these cut-offs of scrapbook paper, and this is the one I'm planning to use in here. I just want to check the width. It's good. Okay. So next thing I want to do is I want to round the bottom corners. So I also notice this is folded a little crooked, so let's fix that. And then I will trim the excess off the bottom. I'll also check inside and make sure there's no stickers like this one. I may need to put something, yeah, I'll put something in there to cover that. Sometimes they stick the price stickers right on this scrapbook paper. Okay. So now I'm going to open it up, and you don't have to do this. I'm just doing this because I've got this mess to clean up here. I'm going to just do a little collage of pieces of plain paper, like book page, or not book page, sorry, like dyed page. Just going to glue them in there. Again, it's one of those things where we're making things even more interesting when they're imperfect, right? So this could have just been a white piece of paper, but now it's a fun collage. So don't be upset if you don't have like really wild, cool papers, because you can do all sorts of making from the simplest of things. And it's going to make it even more aesthetic. Okay. And I have a little bit of music paper. Maybe I'll just put a little line of music on the side. Or this is nice too. Sing a Song of Seasons. Okay. So there, now that is more appropriate for the inside to be written on. Now I want to put some kind of an embellishment here like I did for this one. Whoops. So see, I put this here. I want to do something similar for this one. So let's find something nice. Just get my bits and I'll bring them up here. Royal Postal Service. We have a bee. A bee might be nice. Let's do a bee. Okay. All right, so there's that. Then pop it right on in here. And that's good to go. So now, next page. This is where we're doing the glue down of overhanging parchment or other paper that is transparent. So let's put the needle back in the glue. Flip my page over here. And then I'm just going to literally glue this right down. Now the important thing with the parchment paper, really make sure you glue those edges, because they just fold it in so that you know where you want your fold. Yeah, really glue the edges because that's the spot that likes to pop up. Okay. Glue stick is fine. One thing you'll notice if you're using cabbage dyed paper and glue stick, it's interesting. There's like a reaction between at least my glue and the cabbage dye. It turns it like from purple to like more blue, sometimes navy and sometimes like aqua. It's really cool. See, like you can see the color change happening there. It's really fun. Oops, I gotta get more closely to the edge. There we go. Oh, that's a little too close. Oh, I'm the queen of the crooked. Okay, there we go. There we go. Alright, so now just flap your flap out. And if it gets a little crinkly, like see this got crinkly, I don't even care. I'm going to leave it. I like it. Just give it a nice press, go around all the edges. Alright, nice. Love this actually. And then again, if you wanted to, you could put some kind of like a little label up here to kind of give it, you know, something. I'm actually going to add that because it's just hanging around here on my desk. Why not? There we go. Perfect. All right, now that's that page. That was just a simple page. Now next page we need a playing card, or in my case I have a tarot card here. This one, the Ace of Materials. So we're just going to glue that down as a tuck spot on the bottom here. Okay. And then we need to make this. So I have another one of these. It's just a blank index card with a tab. So let's move the prototype out of the way here and move this piece out of the way. Let that dry for a bit. So, whoops. I think I just tore my poem I was going to use, so that's okay. We'll come back to that. Okay, so first thing that I want to do, need my glue book here. I'm just going to do my bingo daubing. Because that's how this piece starts, just with some bingo daubing. Then take the paper away. And you can use your heat gun here, but what I do is I blot with another piece of paper, which is also a nice thing that you can do if you're making collage fodder. This is like a nice mark making kind of thing you can do. Okay, so now we need sort of like a focal point from an art book. So I have this. I think this is Caravaggio, maybe? I could be wrong. Yeah, I can't remember. Might be Leonardo da Vinci, actually. Okay, so I'm going to just capture these two. So get rid of this. And we're going to just cut this fussy cut around these two. Sorry for the glare. I know this is a shiny page here. All right, so now we have our little focal point for the bottom. I will just glue this. Okay, pop that on there. Oops. And then I'll cut the excess off the back. Get our prototype so I can look at it for a moment here. So then the next thing that I want to do is a bit of inking just around the image. Need a little more ink, I think. And then I'll ink up the edge. You can do the back, you don't have to, it's up to you. Okay, so now we'll do a little bit of washi tape collaging. So this one. And maybe this one. Okay. Then we need our little verse here, and I don't know which of these I wanted to use. Yeah, I think it was the bottom one. Okay, that's okay. Let me throw that away and we'll find a new one in my book here. A lot of this is about like death. I don't know. This guy's really negative. Oh my goodness. He's I don't want anything religious either. Okay, look at the stars. Look up at the skies. Oh, look at the fire folk sitting in the air, the bright burrows, the circle citadels there. Down in dim woods, the diamond delves, the elves' eyes, the grey lawns cold where quick gold lies. Wind beat white beam, airy, a bells set on a flare, flake doves sent floating forth at a farmyard scare. Ah well, it is all a purchase, all is a prize. I like that. Okay. The Starlight Night. So then I'm just going to tear this, put the rest of the page back in the book here. Then we'll tear around. Okay, and then find a place for this. I'm going to have to tear it a little more. Right there. Okay. All right, so we have the equivalent journal card. So now let's put these back in the journals. This one in here, and then this one in our new journal that I keep tossing all around here. Okay, this will go in here. Now we need to make our fabric covered tag. So the fabric I chose is this. It's beautiful, it's vintage, I love it to bits. So this is a really easy little project. All you need is book pages and a piece of fabric and a sewing machine if you want to stitch around. So I'm going to use one of my big glue book pages here from an old art book, because it's a sturdier book than this little old book I've been using as a glue book. So I'm just going to fold this in half, and then I'm going to decide on the size of my tag. I'm just going to eyeball it. It's not like that difficult to do. Probably about that width. And I will tear the top off to get rid of the turned over part of the book from the center. And then I'll come up with a length that I like, but there, I think. And then I will glue these together. Okay. Now let's cut this into a tag. And then we'll cover the entire front with the fabric. Well, the glue first and then the fabric. Whoops. No, I can't go that way. I think it's ever so slightly too short. I was trying to save fabric, but I think it's ever so slightly too short. Or maybe not. No, it's good. It's good. Okay. And then just give it a nice press. Okay. Lift that up. This is the most beautiful vintage feed sack fabric. Okay. Just trimming around the edge. Probably easier to do with fabric scissors, I would recommend. Just don't cut your paper because you'll ruin your fabric scissors, and that's no fun. Okay. All right, now just give it a press as always. Then we need to cover the back with writing space. I think I'm going to use more of this packaging paper because I'm just really trying to use it. Paper bags are amazing for this. Okay. So then we just cover the back. All right, so I'm going to go to the sewing machine really quick and just stitch around the entire edge with a zigzag stitch, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've stitched around the whole edge. So now we're just going to go and get rid of the excess paper. Okay, so then we have our tag. Pop it on the back here, get your paper clip, and I just place the paper clip right where it falls over the playing card, right there. All right, so we are done our spread for today. This is the 5th page inside the journal. So let's go ahead and plop it in. Let's review what we have here so far. Okay. All right, and then into the journal we go. So yeah, super cute and fun. I like how it's coming together. So that's it for me for today. Thank you again so much for joining me, and I will be back again with another page of this series very soon. There might be a little bit of a lag over the next couple of days because I do have a show this weekend, so I might be delayed, but I'll see what I can do. If I can get things packed up and ready to go, I will try to come back and film. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye for now.